I'm Vicki Vargo, and I'm Executive Director of the Braddock Carnegie Library Association. As a small child, I would say that building was very intimidating. It was huge. It didn't look the way it does now. It was very dirty, years and years of soot on the building. Probably the better half of the 20th century were good years, and then around the late 50s, 60s, and 70s, things all over started to deteriorate. Times were changing, and shortly after the Braddock School District took over the Braddock Carnegie Library and eventually closed the building in 1974. It sat vacant. It was not cared for. Nobody made sure that people weren't breaking in, so it was vandalized. It was subject to the elements. It just very much suffered from neglect. But we were very fortunate that the last librarian who worked there, David Solomon, would not let the building die. He bought it from the school district for $1, started a nonprofit, and started raising money. David's focus was to open the library for the children. And then we gradually joined the Allegheny County Library Association. We're able to exchange materials with other libraries. Have some computer systems. The building's approximately 45,000 square feet, and only half of it was usable. The renovations we're doing now will make it 100% usable and accessible. Our service area is Braddock, North Braddock, East Pittsburgh, Turtle Creek, and Chalfont. The majority of our patrons, I would say, come from Braddock, North Braddock, and East Pittsburgh. We do operate a satellite location in Turtle Creek out of the Human Services Center. In addition to books and DVDs, probably the biggest thing that we've seen, especially since COVID, are faxing and printing and copying services. Other things that they're looking for, we have an alternative lending collection. That includes artwork, and then after that we started expanding the items that we would let people borrow, including tables and chairs, tents, coolers. So those items are big borrow items. We do have limited tools. We have some outdoor weed whacking and trimmers and blowers and things. There are multiple partnerships, primarily I believe it all started with Braddock Youth Project, the Woodland Hills School District, Propel Schools, and then expanding beyond that to places like Greater Valley Community Services, Heritage Out of School Time, Gwen's Girls. They're not just places within our service area. It's what makes sense. How can we support your programs or what you do with what we offer? I think it has to be just like a good relationship. Both parties have to benefit from it and see it as an asset, or it's not going to work. We were fortunate Eden Hall Foundation funded a building master plan. We were seeking funds to do another piecemeal project, and one of the funders, Eden Hall, came back and said, you need to do this whole building once and for all. From there, after we did the building master plan, it was just boom, boom, boom. Things kept going. We did the pre-construction drawings and everything, and we kept working on the capital campaign, and was very surprised, very scared when the architects and everybody said it's time to start. And we did that May 2nd this year. Target date right now, barring any setbacks, is 2024, okay. Mid-2024. We still have probably the entire cost of phase 2, which is about $5 million to raise. First of all, we're very grateful to Mon Valley Initiative for inviting us to be a partner. We had looked at the NPP ourselves, but that's a huge undertaking. So we very much appreciate MVI is considering us as a partner. The reason we got involved is because of MVI's track record, knowing that they would be applying for these funds and it would be a benefit to our communities. You know, doing a capital campaign is a learning experience, and I don't care how many classes you go to, you just don't know until you actually do it. And every time I turned around, there was another, well, you need to have this consultant or that consultant. We haven't been back in the building since COVID. We were back briefly, and it was just very limited services. This was the first year that we have been able to do programs. So we are renting a property from MVI on Braddock Avenue. And it's really been a change of scenery for us, and it's a smaller space, so you know, we can't do all the things we did before, but we can definitely do copying and printing, and people can use computers, and they can still take out materials. You know, when you hear the word library, some people think, that's books, I'm just not interested, or, you know, but looking at what is a library? What does a library do, and how has it changed over the years? You know, I've been here 21 years, and I've seen so many changes. I've seen so many people come through the library, and gladly I've seen them come back now as parents. But it's amazing to say, yeah, geez, I remember you. So knowing that people still value the library, not only as a resource, but as a social center. So a library is truly a community center, and I think when Carnegie built that library, he wanted to address all those things. He wanted people to have the opportunity to learn. He wanted them to be physically fit, meet the needs of the community, talk to them, find out what kind of programs they want, what kind of services. It's like that nebby neighbor, you know? Pittsburgh has nebby neighbors, and that's what we are. We want to know what you need, what you want to do, and hopefully we can help you.